Culture Podcast with Alaska, Curly Castro, and Zilla Rock.
Welcome to Call Out Culture, people.
I want to show my wincing face. What's up, yo? It's Curly Castro, yo. The one and only, the most dangerous man in podcasting.
And
if y'all can see right now,
what's up?
You can't even see my face if y'all can see us right now. But since you can't see my face if y'all can see us right now, you can't see nobody's face if y'all can see us right now. It's Call Out Culture. It makes sense when we want to make sense. Tonight we have a special guest. The one, the only, the immutable Illogic.
What up, people? What up?
Welcome.
I love how people do the I word when they want to think of something really ill to say for the last adjective. The immutable, the inconquerable.
The incandescent.
Look
at that.
The illustrious.
No, you know what's ill? Billy Woods has a song where he's talking about the window, the fucking raindrop on the window when he's about to crash your car. He's like a day and a week and a year.
Yeah.
That song. It's ridiculous.
When he says incandescent?
He says, yeah, there's one raindrop caught in the incandescent. I'll let go of the wheel and close my eyes or some shit, he said.
Oh, yeah,
man, get out of
that
here,
line's
man.
crazy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So I'm not rapping no more. That's it. I ain't tell you.
No, you didn't tell me. You didn't tell me.
I ain't
that.
rapping. This is it. This is it for me, yo.
Oh, all right. Well, it's been nice having you
A lot
around.
of you take all my spots. You could be in shrapnel. You could do all of that, man. This is it for me, man.
You went out on at least you went out on a high note.
You know what I'm saying? That's the best way to go out. You know what I'm saying?
You're like Jordan in Jordan Game 6, just walking away. But not the Wizards. We'll just leave that alone.
You know what I like? I like Barry walking off without getting the record. You know, I'm good.
Yep.
I'm done with y'all yokels knocking me around all over the place. I'm gonna chill. But Alaska, you go right ahead. I'm allowing it over to you.
All right. I feel proud to be out all over.
So wait, real quick. So who in this metaphor, who was the Detroit Lions that like broke in your spirit to compete at a high level? Like what would it be?
All y'all, my teammates. Everybody,
sure.
The offensive line, receivers, quarterback coach,
Herman Moore,
line coach,
Brett Parabin,
all the offensive coordinators over the years.
Scott Mitchell, boom.
There you go.
Rodney Pete, that whole squad.
Rodney Pete.
Chris
the only
Spielman.
thing he had was he bought Miss Holly Robinson Pete to the locker room.
Oh yeah.
I was like, ooh,
Didn't he always look like Denzel's stunt double? He was like a poor man's Denzel, like that look.
No, he lacked
so?
he lacked the no, he didn't. See,
his facial features. That's right.
No, I just always thought he looked like he was 45 or 20. Like he was one of those.
That's the thing. Look.
Budget
Denzel's face is very emotive. He can do a lot of different emotions. Homeboy Pete had no emotion in his
That's
face.
true.
Lack of wrinkles. Okay. All right. So the black people comparison has been not today, Z.
Wait,
all right.
I'm gonna show my screen. Share my screen.
You can
real
show
quick.
your screen.
Just one photo. Just one.
Go
this
ahead.
one in the middle.
Go ahead.
Oops, this one in the middle, right here. You see that one with the wide collar?
That does not look like Denzel Washington.
Budget Denzel, stunt double,
talking about?
Stunt double Denzel.
All right. You've been my friend for a long time, and I really have to tell you this. I really have to tell you this, and I'm glad my video's not here because you don't want to see my face.
Here we go.
You sometimes make the worst black on black comparison. Okay. Sometimes they're really out there. And I just let you go. Oh, Alonzo Mourning looks like, like Talib Kweli.
No, I just said to you over the weekend, Lynn Greer from Temple looks like Vordel. Remember when I was in Temple game?
Lynn Greer has a round.
He looks dead like Vordel, bro. Lynn Greer looks dead like Vordel.
Alaska.
He was a player for Temple.
I don't even know who the fuck Lynn Greer is.
Temple College basketball. 01.
Lynn Greer.
Yeah, Greer. Greer. He looks
nothing like
Vordel Mega. Shouts to him. Yeah. Mega Law, Sean Bright, my rat, this bars. Yeah.
No, not really.
Come on.
Thank you.
I always thought he looked like Vordel.
Like I said, the previous statement is some of your black on black comparisons fall way short of the mark.
All right, fair enough.
So I just want you to work on that. I just want you to work on it because I would like your average.
Listen, I'm here like Aquafina. I'm just here to learn. You know what I mean? My attention isn't. You know what I mean? I'm just a poor kid. That was, my family were immigrants.
Somehow, I don't think that was the explanation she would give after ciphers. I just don't think that's the explanation she gave after the cipher. We were like, why do you talk like that?
She was like,
That's
I'm
just
not,
me,
I'm not going to give back the crazy
She's
rich
just a kid
Asian
from
money.
Queens, man. That's how kids from Queens talk.
That's the answer. That's the answer to the question. I'm a kid from Queens, not, oh man, I'm doing damage control on my high-end acting career right now. What would you just say? Oh, nothing. I didn't say nothing.
I'm like, her name.
Ride the 7 train when high school gets out, and you'll see that every single kid from Queens, regardless of ethnic group, talks exactly the way Aquafina talks. They could be like,
the answer shouldn't be, look, Alaska, refer to my PR agent. What? That's your answer? Refer to my PR?
Yeah. No, the kid could be from Nova Scotia, or they could be from like Peru. They're all going to talk exactly the same.
Meet a Russian Queens girl, a Queens girl who's Russian, and she sounds exactly like.
Yeah, I just think like
they all came out of the womb sounding like they smoked like a pack of cigarettes a day.
Thank you. Yeah.
I just like expecting a woman who named herself after a bottle of water to be like this, like morally bulletproof person, like observing all cultures equally. Like, what are we doing here? Like, oh my god, it's neither here nor there. But this is
she went with the one water that's filled with sodium.
Water. Clean your car with that water. With nothing. That's it. Just put it on a rag.
So now that we're up to date on current events and
now we know why we don't fuck with her.
Racial comparisons. Why don't we get into today's topic?
Let me tell you who Lupita looks like. No, I'm just kidding. That's not gonna be.
So today, this is something I feel like we all kind of talk about amongst ourselves via text.
Oh yeah.
When we see people exhibiting behaviors, but there's like, when you're in a career like this, there are people that like come into your orbit, and for like a little while, you're like, oh, they're cool.
Right.
And then they quickly start showing their ass.
Yep.
And you're like, I can't fuck with that person anymore.
Yep.
So
with the ass showing.
This episode is titled, "This is why people don't fuck with you."
Wait. PPS. Just in case you don't know. That's a subtitle. In case you were unaware.
Yes.
This is why.
This is why. So we've broken it down into a few categories, and let's just I'll throw them out there, and we could talk about why these are issues. So first and foremost is going to be professionalism. So sort of when we're thinking about professionalism, we're thinking about, are you able to keep a schedule? Can you fucking show up on time and not waste people's time? Can you keep a promise? It's things along those lines. Or are you somebody that's like, yeah, I'm going to get my record done this month, and then it's 4 months later and we look at Instagram and it's just pictures of you doing wild shit all the time? Are we going to be in the studio waiting for you to show up, and you show up 4 hours late without?
I can say with immutable facts that Evidence, the one and only, has a great career in Amsterdam because he shows up on time and he's punctual. He was I heard through the grapevine, but a good grapevine, that he had showed up and played some dates, replacing people that canceled their shows. To the point he makes so much money in Amsterdam, he has a crib out there.
Wow.
And he, now maybe COVID maybe reduced that, but he has a spot in Amsterdam. He does so many shows there and he makes so much paper. Now just look at that. He showed up, and from what I understand, it was only like 3 shows. It's 3 shows, but in a pinch. You know what I'm saying? He covered for a couple of people, and now he's the main headline. You go down there, they don't have nothing to say but great things about Evidence. And he's Evidence.
Yep.
So I just wanted to start the show with that fact alone. Just being there, showing up, being punctual, and being a professional. Now my man has a sub-career, if you want to call it that,
right,
in Amsterdam alone. Come on, man. Stop playing with me, dog.
I think that's a good point that you bring up about just showing up. Like, amongst you guys, how many opportunities have you gotten? Like, not things that you ever planned on happening, just because you were around and somebody's like, you want to do this? And you were like, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah. Many times.
Yeah.
I mean, I think my entire career is made up of shit like that.
Facts, bro.
It's like I went to one open mic and suddenly it was like, okay, you want to do? Yeah, I'll do a show.
No, let me ask you. Let's put the audience on. Alaska, how did you end up on Cobain?
Because I started going to the New Eurekan Poets Cafe, and I met a dude named Osiris rapping in a bathroom. And he was like, you want to be down with Adam's family? And I was like, sure. And he was like, all right, come down and hang out with us on Saturday.
Bet.
So I came down and hung out on Saturday and waited for those motherfuckers for 4 hours to show up.
Always
literally 4 hours.
Literally 4 hours. Like I was literally getting ready to leave.
How many cigarettes you smoke?
I was on the subway platform because I was supposed to meet him on the platform, which, you know, is really like a cool thing to be like just the weirdo hanging out on a subway platform.
4 hours, right?
Right.
For 4 hours. But yeah, it was just like that. And then like I met Vortal, hung out with Vortal for like the whole weekend. Everybody that was supposed to come with me didn't come.
Bang.
And then through Vortal, I met Cryptic. And through Cryptic, you know, we met Adam's family started.
Right.
We did all that
song
shit.
In particular.
And,
you
you
told me that song in particular.
Oh yeah, they called me and they were like, "You want to rap?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got a verse."
Bang.
Boom.
But
if
all of the shit that happened was just like some shit like that. They're like, "You want to do this?"
But if you did not have a verse ready, or you did not have something, you might have missed that song. Correct?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of dudes there's a reason that Cryptic and I were the only two people on the song.
Thank you.
There it is.
It was an open call. And we were the only two that had something or were able to get out there.
It's like, you know what's interesting to me too? Like, we talked, I think in our last episode in the mailbag, we said something about PD Crack, right? And it's like, I don't know anything about PD Crack, like from industry rumors and people I know that are like in that world, but it would appear as though a person like that who has so much equity from Rockefeller, State Prop, then on Def Jam and all that, like he was in Philly for a while, just like doing hipster parties and doing stuff. But it was always like, the rumor was always like hard to work with or like doesn't, you know, checking off some of these boxes. And again, I don't know how accurate that is, but it's like when you kind of step back, you're like, well, you know, the people that really don't have those problems, like Black Thoughts really never stopped being around. You know what I mean? From 93, 94. Never really just like, oh, where's he been? It's been 7 years. Haven't seen Black Thought anywhere. Whereas I could be like, for the last 7 years, where's PD Crack? You know what I mean? And they're from, PD's from North Philly, Black Thought's from South Philly, but it's like, it's not like we have a lot going on in Philly. Like we're not Houston, you know, or Atlanta. Like we don't have a lot going on to get that distracted. But I feel like I would potentially attribute some of that to just literally just not being around. And you're not around, you're not on people's mind.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Yeah, I think people, they don't take stock in the importance of just showing up when you're supposed to show up, or just doing things when you're supposed to do them. One of the reasons that, you know, people enjoy working with me is because when they ask me to do something, if I have a deadline, usually I meet the deadline for the most part.
Flying colors, knocks it out the fucking park.
Yeah, and I'm there when I'm supposed to be. I get the shit done that I'm supposed to get done when it's supposed to be done, and I do it at a high level, and I'm consistent with it. You know what I mean? And that's the thing that's most important, is the consistency in the professionalism.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I think in a lot of ways that's more important than actual talent.
Right.
Oh, all day, forever. Like consistency like eats talent for breakfast, man. It's like everyone gets wild at first at the talent, but then after a while it's like a judgment call. It's like, okay, how much of the histrionics and nonsense do I want to deal with the talent? Like, what is the incentive? What's the payoff? Am I going to make a bag of money rolling with this person and we deal with the headaches? But then when I start slowing down, it's like, we actually don't really need this stuff. We just need a person that's always going to be around. We don't have to deal with the bullshit. You know what I mean? It's like, I always say like the TO conundrum. You know what I mean? Like in football, it's like, if you got TO, you're like, wow, this dude's top 3 receiver ever, can take over, do whatever. All we have to do is just tell him how great he is all day. You could do, yeah, you're the greatest. Oh my God. And the payoff would be he could potentially win MVP or put you over the hump. But then if his numbers go down or something happens, you're like, well, I mean, now I really don't need to deal with it because there's no incentive anymore to tolerate it. You know what I mean? But it's like when that person on the ascent, you kind of sidestep it. But after years of that, you're like, all right, man, like,
I got somebody.
Who is it?
I got somebody. If anybody works in Philly or has been around recently or even in the past, there's an individual, his name is Koof Knox.
Shouts to
And
Koof.
during my rehab assignment at McGee Rehab Facilitation, shout out to them, the music therapist there knows Koof. And Koof came up, and I know Koof. And it's always a good experience dealing with Koof, working with him, working for him, working in tangent with him. The fact that two individuals, one doing the rehab on his two broken hip, on his hip replacements, two, somebody working a job as a music therapist, would bump into each other at a rehab facility in Philadelphia. Like, and Koof's reputation precedes him tremendously. Everybody has nothing but good and great things to say about him. And I think that's important. I think that lasts, you know what I'm saying? I think that's it's immutable. You can't hide that or repress that. If you're working with good people, only good things are gonna happen. And that's a fact.
Yeah, and I think, you know, we've all come up through scenes where it's like that starts to sort itself out after a while, right? Like, I know Illogic for the Columbus scene, like when we first started coming out there, it was thick. There's just a lot of people that were involved in it that were like, you know, they're artists here, they're artists there. But after 5 or 6 years, you started seeing who's working and who's hanging out. Like every time we would come out, like every year, it would be like a little slimmer. And I'm sure when you guys came to New York, it was the same thing. Like there was a lot of people in the beginning, and then it starts to weed out. You start to see who's working.
Yeah, and you start to see who's serious about what they're doing. You start to see who is not horrible to work with, who doesn't get on everybody's nerves, who actually comes to the studio to write or with a verse ready, you know, that doesn't take 1,000 takes to get their shit done. You know what I mean? Like, especially in the times, you know, before we could record at our cribs when you had to pay for studio time. You know, cats come in there and not prepared, and you're wasting everybody's money. You know what I'm saying? Because cats used to, you know, divvy up to pay for studio time. You know what I mean? And, you know, who wants to take 3-4 hours to record one song because you didn't come prepared, you know? And after a while, you stop getting invited.
But check this. Then we had other people, let's go to the home studio era. They just like being in the essence of hip hop. And they would be working for 12 hours. No lie, I got a real story. 12 hours. What did you come up with? Oh, well, we weren't. What? Y'all didn't do one thing? Oh, we got to doing this. Like people just like to be in that cycle, but don't want results. I don't really like those folks. I'm not here for that. I'm here to get my music recorded, to get it mixed, get it mastered, and get it released. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm interested in all those steps. I'm not interested in just being around. Yo, I was around when Black Thought wrote that verse that he did at Flex. Oh, yeah. Oh, where you was around? Oh, yeah. Oh, nice. That's nice. What you got? Oh, well, you know, should blow your ass the fuck up out of here, man. What the fuck you talking about, man? I deal with blade spitters, man. Where the fuck your blades at? Oh, well, you know, I'm doing this new thing with spoons. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. Nobody want to hear no spoons and shit, man. Fuck you talking about, man? Blades. Fuck out of here. Alaska, take control. I'm about to wild out on somebody.
So
start saying names.
So have you any of you had the experience where you get somewhat deep into a project with somebody and then they kind of just disappear for a few months?
Thank God, no.
Stop returning calls.
Yes.
And then
wait,
come
that
back
happened
like
one time. Oh, check it. That happened one time, right? I was working with my man Rock Bottom, and we were working with this producer. Oh man, what was his name? Can't remember the producer's name. Would have been good for the story. But anyway, he had a nice little collection of beats. He had a nice little slice, and we were recording song after song, whatever. But something about finishing the song, it would always be weird about him popping up where we were doing the mastering and stuff. And then next thing you know, the songs pop up as his songs, featuring us.
Oh,
yeah, old Suplex, the
wow,
old Flippity Doo. Yeah, Flippity Doo Dah.
The old
That's what
switcheroo.
motherfucker did, a Flippity Doo Dah, Flippity Day. And we were ready to go see that motherfucker, but he made some amends somehow, some way. But he's showing up this show up with such and such featuring Curly Cash on Rock Bottom. Oh, word. Oh,
wow.
word.
Wow.
But that did happen to me one time, one good time. And I was just like, it was so, but it was so frustratingly long that we had kind of divorced our feelings from it. So he kind of saved himself by taking the process going so long. Right. We were just like, F it, you know what I'm saying? But they were good songs. There's actually there's a video for the songs. Damn. You can go online, find them. Put in Rock Bottom, Curly Castro. And
Rock Bottom, ROK. ROK, Rock Bottom.
ROK Bottom, Rock Bottom.
Yep.
Put that in with Curly Castro. You'll see the video. Song came out dope. But you know, you cut the songs off at the legs because you didn't want to, you didn't want to be collaborative. But Alaska, was that answering your question?
That answers it from a perspective that I didn't think of, like the people that just take forever to do shit. I know a lot of people that I've worked with in the past where it's like, this song's been done for a year. What's going on? It's like, no, I'm still working on it. I'm still tinkering.
I think in our little group chat, we've discussed that about like, if we do features for people and it's been over a year, we take it back. I don't give a fuck if you paid money.
No,
I'm taking it back. Like, you're just wasting my time. Like
Alaska, Logic, that happened to you?
Oh yeah, it's happened to me many a times. But I haven't taken anything back that's been paid for. It's just frustrating. But I have had cats that just never put shit out, and I end up recycling the verses on something. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially if the shit is dope. Like, I'm not gonna waste that verse or waste that song because you dragging your feet. Especially if I did it for free. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
no. That's the dollar with the string on it. I come right back out that machine, boy.
I mean, I have shit that I stopped doing things for free for that reason, because I was like, I would do songs with people. It was like, I was always like, I don't need to make money off of this right now. So I was like, I'll do it for free, like, just because, just to like be a good guy.
Right. And
then shit would not come out, and it used to frustrate the hell out of me. It used to get me real pissed off. So I was like, you know what? I need to be paid. If I'm paid, I can let it go.
Sure.
Because you bought it. It's yours. You do what the fuck you want to do. If you want to sit on it forever, sit on it forever.
Me and Zilla created a whole group based on stuff people didn't put out of ours. Yeah. We was messing with this one cat, and we did a song about werewolves. And it was just sitting. That's the funny part is it was literally about werewolves. And it was sitting. And we didn't take that song back, and we didn't take that one back specifically. But we started reclaiming verses ours that was out in the ethers and stuff, and we created Grip Company. We were sitting around, and we was like, "No, man, let's remix this. Let's put this back together. Let's do this. You got a verse? Oh, you got that? Boom, boom, boom." And we had 10 songs, literally made of recyclable materials.
Just songs.
Captain Planet, that motherfucker. MC Captain Planet and shit.
Captain Planet.
Yeah. I mean, I had a project with somebody who will remain nameless, but it was like they reached out to me. They're like, "Yo, let's do a project together." I was like, "All right, I'll do a project with you." And he had some beats I liked, so I recorded to him. I did like 4 or 5 songs, and I was just like, started reaching out, like, "You gonna send more beats? What's going on? Or are we just gonna do the 5 songs? What's going on?" And like, wouldn't hear back for a couple weeks, and I get a text like, "Yo, shit's just kind of crazy right now. I'll get to it this week." Same thing happens again.
Here it is.
For like a month later. "Nah, sorry, man. Shit was just crazy. Got some shit going on with the fam." And after a point, I was just like, "This is it. This is the last time I'm asking you.
Wow.
Is this going to happen or not?"
Right.
Nothing for 2 weeks. I was like, "All right, fuck it. This is going to be the Words Hurt record." And I just re-recorded the whole shit. Like, I wrote more songs, but I sent basically the instrument, the files to my homie Lang.
Yep.
And he just built beats around it. And I was like, cool, let's put it out. And like 3 months later, the shit was out.
Welcome to the Career Crooks discography, dog.
Yeah.
How do you think Me and Small Bro became a group? Same thing. Same.
And then the funny shit is seeing the same person all over the internet being like, "Yo, beats for sale."
Oh yeah.
Yeah. 3 beats for $15 type shit. I was like, fuck out of here.
Illogic, real shit. If imagine you just didn't have access to beats, what would prompt you to spend $15 to $25 on a beat? Because that's essentially a $3 beat. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Like, would you cop that like a $20 beat?
I mean, honestly, if the shit's dope, maybe. You know what I mean?
Would you wear $20 sneakers? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, man. All right. Hey, Shaq got him. I mean, the point is,
Not
I
at
get
this
the point.
age, I
I get
wouldn't.
the point
Them
of
shits would fuck up your feet real
That's what I'm
bad.
saying.
I get
Get
the
what
point
you
of a $50 beat being worth $3 because that person not putting their work into the beat. So that could happen, but I'll give it a listen. You know what I'm saying? But
You got to dig around out of the $50.
Yeah.
The 20. I'm talking about the $20 to $25 pile. 50. I'm not even
Yeah.
going there. I'm saying like the $25 bid. That's
you got to
rough.
dig. You listening to a lot of beats that day.
It all depends. It all depends on the cat that the beat's coming from too. You know what I mean? Like if it's, you know, in line with the conversation, if it's somebody that I even want to fuck with. And
Right.
honestly, if you selling $20 beats, what do you really think your shit is worth? You know what I'm saying? Like,
dog.
am I really gonna, you know, get anything out of working with you, you know, except for a dope beat? Now, if the beat is dope, you know, I might, you know, take you up on it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If I can get full rights, you know what I mean? If I don't have to, if it's my beat, you know, you send me the files, you send me the session, all of that shit. Yeah, I'll pay $20 for it if it's dope.
Yo, I'm haggling. I'm like $12. 12.
I
I'll
can
give
go
you
to
$12.
Fiverr and get this shit for $5.
Yeah, go with Fiverr. $12 beat. Say no to me. I'll give you Venmo. I'll give you $12 right now, man. That's it.
So on the flip side of people disappearing, have there been people that you've worked with and then you start to see their demeanor? Like at first you're like, oh, it's cool. They're like hungry. And then it's just like, oh, the more I'm around you, the more I realize you're pretty whack as a person.
As a person, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And then you start to be like, I'm going to just slide back from you slowly and just like let this project fade.
Yeah,
have you all been in that road as well?
There's a
podcast that dude's hosting and they're talking about us like being the irresponsible ones.
This guy's fucking ghosted me, bro. We had 6 songs.
Yeah, there's been many a times where I've started working with people on projects, and then once you start talking to them, you know, people that I didn't know very well at first, and you know, once you start talking to them, you're in the studio with them, you know, you're having conversations with them regularly. And you start to realize, you start to realize you really don't like this person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really don't want my energy connected to your energy. You know what I mean? Like, I really don't. I don't want people to associate me with you. You know what I mean? So, you know, I'm a fall back, and you know, stuff starts coming up. You know what I
mean? Yeah. It's So what are some of the behaviors that you see that will make you like, because to me, it's either demeanor type of things that these people have, right? So like, what are red flag behaviors for you guys when this comes up?
Lack of patience.
Go on.
Go on.
What do you mean by that?
Well, if someone is trying to push too hard for something, especially if they don't really know what they're doing, you know, I've worked with people who swear to God that they, you know, they're fucking puffy. You know what I mean? That they have all of these connections. They, you know, once this project is done, it's going to do this, it's going to do that, it's going to do that. But they haven't laid the groundwork to get it to the point where, you know, it's even viable to be something that people will gravitate towards, because they don't really know what they're doing. Like I've had to pull myself out of situations where grandiose ideas, you know, fuck up the entire mood of the situation, because they have no idea the work that is involved to get where they're trying to go, you know, because it's not like I don't know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been doing this for over 20 years now.
Right.
And, you know, like I know how this rolls, and what your plan is not going to work. And if you don't listen, and if you don't slow down, it's going to be a waste of all of our time.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
What about you, Z?
Wow. Can you repeat just the question again? Because I don't want to overtread on what Illogic said, which is phenomenal.
Basically, just like, you know, when you're around somebody and there's like certain behaviors that come to light that make you like sort of slide away. What are some of those behaviors that you see?
Because that was a good one about like putting the horse before the carriage. The behavior for me is like the drama, just like it for me, like I've worked in the human services field since 2006. So I've seen people with extreme behavioral challenges, right? People with like intellectual developmental disabilities, people with like just severe systemic issues they're dealing with, right? And within that, I've seen people that just struggle to do basic things, right? For like real reasons. When I'm dealing with artists, I'm like, I'm the type of person, because I'm so straight laced and organized, I like being around like weirdo, crazy artists, because that's not me, right? Like, it's a way for me to like have a rebellious, interesting, artistic experience, because my life's like pretty straightforward. But after a while, like that veneer of like, oh, they're just like a crazy, interesting artist. It's like, well, actually, like maybe this person's on the fucking spectrum, because Jesus Christ, like, why are you always have like fights with chicks and then on Facebook, like yelling at people, and then you're always bad with money. And then, you know what I mean? Like you start noticing all these dramatic elements where you're like, yo, I don't lead a drama filled life. Like this is too much shit. And I don't care how good you are rhyming or beats or how many promoters, you know, because I know if we do a show, there's going to be drama at the show. You know what I mean? If we do the record, there's going to be drama with one of the producers that you quote unquote know. If we do a song, we're going to bring your friend on who's going to do something weird. Like it's like a black cloud. And again, you start doing like judgment calls, like how much is it worth it? Like what's the ultimate payoff? Is it just to create something cool? Is it a payday? Is it furthering my name, their name? But it's like that constant, like just negativity. I mean, it's cheesy to say, but it's like the bad vibes that hover around a person. It's like, yo, first time I see that, I'm out. Like I'm not playing that shit. Like it's not worth it to me anymore. You know, it's fun and interesting when you're like 18 to like 27, 28. You're like, I'm gonna get a crazy story out of being around this person. Oh, can't believe they said that, and then they punched the dude, and then it's like you're like, this is bad. Like why is this always coming around to you? Like why do crazy shit always? And then if you're not there, they're like, oh, you missed it, man. You weren't at the show, and then these dudes showed up, and then we started two-piecing them, and then we got kicked out. You're like, whoa, this is like, I'm not with that shit. So to me, it's like that type of rabble rouser shit. I'm not playing around with that.
Yeah, we too old for that shit now.
Oh yeah,
straight up.
Too much to lose at this point.
You know, I thought about too, like when I was around that type of shit a lot too, because you know I thought it was interesting. But I was like, you know, one day I was like, I think once you graduate college as an adult, like there's no reason ever getting a fist fight. Like why would you do that? Like unless like someone's like, you know, breaking in your house or like really like attacking you in a way where you have to defend yourself.
In some specific instances, I know what you're saying, but
you see what I'm saying? Like if it's like an extreme thing,
you should never be instigating it.
Yeah, like hands down, like you should not. But but even if someone's like at the bar, like saying something stupid, you just leave. Like, all right, fuck you guys. There's a zillion other bars in this city. Like, why do I need to stay here and like grip somebody up? Like that's ridiculous. Like to get in a fight, you know what I mean? Unless like you're being threatened in a dangerous way. But yeah.
Well, I think when you're young, like damaged people seem interesting.
Yes, that's it. There it is.
Yeah. Like when you're young, you're like, oh, that person's like, they've lived
because they're charismatic. You know what I mean? Because they're hustlers. Like they have to get things by being charming and charismatic because they're a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think of like some of my friends that like, I was like, man, that dude fucking has it together. And I'm looking at him now. I'm like, wow, you're a fucking loser.
I was wrong.
Yeah, I was well wrong on that one. I was like, all those girls that you got, that really didn't translate well into your marriage, did it?
Oh my God.
You know, it's like,
Jesus Christ.
It was cool when you were 20.
Karma wins again.
Yeah.
What
about you, Castro?
Oh, sorry.
I straight up was rolling with thieves. This one guy had the studio because he was like either working in the building or doing some communication thing or whatever. He took one by one a piece of the rack, piece of this, piece of that, recording. Next, you know, he had a studio. So everybody was over there. He's like, yo, let's go to the studio and shit, right? You know what I'm saying? Knowing that half this stuff says Temple University on the back. And the barcode's all scratched off. And then eventually he tries to steal a member of my group. Like, so, you know, it's the same adage, once a liar, always a liar. A thief, he's going to try to steal everything. And this cat was such a liar. He's one of them people that like, yo, what color is the sky? Yo, it's red and it's blue. He was like, why did you say that? Why did you say that? I don't know. That's their answer.
Oh.
What time is it? Yo, it's 4:00. And it's really like 6:30. Like, yo, man, you know I couldn't be that long. Why did you lie? Why did you say it? I don't know, yo. They don't even know why they do it, man. They lie all the time.
Yeah.
My mom is this. My grandma died. Your grandmother lived down the block from me. What are you talking about? Yo, and so anyway, eventually, you know, I had to get away from that cat. We all kind of did. It was funny. He tried to steal a man from my group by putting his verses on the answer machine, like showing him favoritism or whatever. So I call over there and I'm hearing my man verse on him. Like, and my man sitting next to me, I'm looking at him like, yo, man, you doing a side deal with, I went off for about a bit. You doing a side deal with that fool? Yeah, I had to get calmed down. I had to get taken out the room and calm down. I was real bad back in the day, yo. You had to calm me down to talk to me, yo. But anyway, yeah, that was the aftermath of that. It was just essentially saying that if somebody shows you who they are, the bad habits they possess, the bad decisions they make, when you link up with them, those decisions continue. Those habits grow only fonder. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna keep that train always on time. You know what I'm saying? Getting with you is not going to change that. And it's just important for you. You know how somebody says, oh, I'm glad this guy's on my team. Right. You got to be careful when you say that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody's attributes could work for you in the moment, but then they could turn into, you know what I'm saying, detriments real quick flip on you. So I was like that. Sometimes I was rolling criminals, yo. Straight up.
Yeah, you should.
And it was in my best interest. You know what I'm saying? But then it's like, yeah, but you know, you're a criminal and shit. You know what I'm saying? So like
you're a criminal and shit.
You might the crime wheel might land on Castro.
Yeah, lose a turn. You lose a turn.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Yo, could you imagine? Yeah, man, Donovan robbed me. Word. You just with that nigga. You just with him at the other day and fucking Del Frisco's and shit. Yeah, man. But no, it's a scene. It's a scene in Atlanta where that be really happening. Your friend will rob you.
Oh, so, God, yeah. Oh, what Alfred with the plug? Remember he robs him?
Yeah, with the plug. Yeah, he robbed him.
He's like, I was buying from you for 10 years, man. He's like, yeah, but you got that glow now, man. He's like, yo, tell Ernie that I said what's up. He robs him and shit. Yo, why don't we do our first break?
I got one more quick question.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
And then let's hit the break. Just to sort of tie into this. Have you ever been like somebody that you fucked with, and then they just do one thing that shows you who they are, and you realize I can't fuck with this person anymore? Because a lot of times it's like a series of things happening, right? So I had somebody that I was cool with, and I used to do a lot of music with, and they were hanging out at my house, and we were smoking blunts. And like I ran to the store and I bought a box of blunts.
I remember this story. You've told this before.
And I came back and we smoked a blunt, and you know, we're hanging out, and then he was like, all right, I'm going to bounce. And, you know, as he left, I came back to the living room and the box of blunts was gone. He stole my box of blunts. And it was like, at that moment, I was like, I can't fuck with this dude anymore.
And that was MC Search. And that's when you stopped
MC Search.
Chilling with him. You learned.
He started a hit piece right after that. But it was just like one of those things. I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, I would have given it to you if you asked me.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the fact that you just took some shit out of my house.
I mean, guilty of that.
Yo, man, absolve your sins, man. Go in.
Yeah. So, like, have you ever like had like a moment like of clarity where you're just like, I can't fuck with this person anymore, and been right about it?
Yes. All right.
Because that person, I'm 100% sure that I made the right choice.
All right, so Castro knows this dude. This dude popped up. I used to have a studio on South Street. Cash used to come by every single day. We would record, watch basketball and shit. This dude hits us up. He moves to Philly from San Francisco or some shit. He lives like 6 blocks away. He starts coming through. We start kicking with him. He's a producer, right? So one day, he would talk about he was like a substitute teacher. He goes from like Oakland or San Fran to like North Philly, which is like you gotta have the skin of the fucking rhinoceros from Spider-Man to like survive that shit, right? So he's like really struggling. So his girl is like being a nurse, she's making all the bread, and he's just like some bum ass producer at this point. So he comes to my crib, he starts getting cool with me and Castro, and I just gone food shopping like 3 blocks away. I come back to the crib. I'm like, he comes in. I'm like, yo, you want anything? Like, I got water. I got beer. I got some juice, whatever. He's like, yeah. I'll have some juice. I'm like, yeah. All right. There's a glass right there. Just help yourself, whatever. So he hangs out. When he leaves, I look in the fridge. I'm like, this motherfucker drank like half 60% of this juice I just bought. Like, I just bought it. I didn't even drink any of it. Right. So then fast forward, we did a video shoot like 3-4 months later. He's in this video. Castro's in it. Right. And it was at a pizza restaurant. I worked it for like 18 years. And I paid for everybody to have pizza that night to hang out and be in a, like video shoots take a long time. So I paid for like 8 pizzas. There's always people there. Right. So at the end of the thing, we're all shooting. I'm like, yo, can I just get, any pizza for me to take home? Because I paid for everybody's fucking pizza. And everyone's like, nah, man, homeboy, the producer, he ate like 2 pizzas by himself. It's like, what? I was like, did he put a tip down? Nah, he just left. And I was like, I'm done. You drank the juice and you ate all the pizza. Yeah, he just dipped.
And that's not even the worst thing. The worst thing was when the FBI knocked on his door with a QP in there. I'm talking about looking for, is this belong to you, man? He wasn't there. The FBI brought his shipment to his crib and knocked on the front door.
Yes. And I got him back briefly they had a birthday party at his house. I just cut half his cake and threw it in the trash and walked out. I was being a petty dick. I was like, you want to drink my juice to eat my pizza? I'm coming to the party. I'm cutting the cake in half, throwing it in the trash. That's what I did. I never talked to that dude again. His beats are right though. But that was my hip hop get the fuck away from me moment.
Wow. So I had one with a dude that, and this wasn't hip hop related. It was just like a friend, and like a work friend that I used to go get drunk with after work. And he was dating, like in New York, he was like trying to be like an actor on Broadway.
Okay.
And he was dating this actress that was on the TV show Ed. I don't know if you guys remember
that
remember
show. Ed, yeah.
So he was like dating her, and she like, because she was on a TV show, she had like fly pad like over in like the meatpacking district and shit. And we had gone out drinking, and like he was like, I just got to stop by her house. I was like, all right, cool. And we're there, and he just comes out, like going through her shit and pulls out an envelope that has all her cash in it.
What?
And just starts taking bills out of it. I was like, hey, what are you doing? He's like, nah, she's got this giant thing of cash. She doesn't even know how much is in here. I take shit all the time.
Wow.
I was like, you do that to your girlfriend? Like the person that like you're supposed to be in love with? Like, what are you gonna do to me?
Exactly.
Like,
you're gonna rob me, man.
Yeah.
With my damn throat when I'm taking a nap at your crib.
Yeah.
Oh,
rub my pocket.
So I was like, after that night, I was like, all right, I'm not hanging out with you anymore.
Yeah, that's wild.
Fuck that.
Yeah, I've never had any one incident. It's always a couple things. Like you hang out with somebody and they do some little shit, some sly shit, and you kind of catch it, but you don't say nothing. You're like, did this motherfucker just,
you're like stupefied. You're like, I can't believe he did that.
And then you're hanging out with them again, and some shit like that happens again. That's different, and it's like, did they just do what I think they did? You know what I mean? And after a couple times with me, it's like I just can't be around that kind of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether it's stealing something, whether it's sly comments, like you know what I mean? Like just motherfuckers that just do little shit to try to be the center of attention or be petty and shit like for no fucking reason. That shit just irks me. But I've never had anybody just do one thing where it's like, oh, I just can't fuck with you no more. I haven't had that.
Fair enough.
It's taking a number of things to add up before I break them.
Yeah.
That's just not even saying. I always look for the good in people.
I can't hear you, Castro. You're yeah.
That's better.
There it is.
Yeah.
It's my naivete. I look for the good in people. Sometimes I don't believe what I'm seeing, so sometimes it takes a second.
Right.
Before I can evacuate from my bad situation. But I'm getting better. And improvement is on the horizon. I'm getting better.
Dude, you and I have had discussions about this 100%. And when we hit our first break, Alaska, is it okay if I reveal to the audience who the blunt person was?
I mean, to the audience as the panel
of us, not the listeners.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Patreon won't even get you access to that shit. This is real hip hop folklore, and it's not MC Search. But that would fit the fucking bill, fit the crime. It is, dude. All right, we're gonna take our first break.
All right, cool.
Call Out Culture with Illogic. Why no one fucks with you? Volume 1. We'll be back. Listeners, check it out. Zilla Rocca. Listen, as a shorty, I was playing in the front yard of the crib and I fell down and I bumped my head. And then somebody helped me up and asked me if I bumped my head, and I said, yeah. So then they said, oh, so that means we gonna switch it up on her. And I said, yeah, Andrew is the greatest. And knowing as a shorty, I was always told that if I ain't gonna be part of the greatest, I gotta align with the greatest myself. And that's Andrew. The Rain Knows What Is Doing album available now. Cassettes are sold out, but we got CDs, beanies, dad hats, mugs. It's cracking. $3pistol.com for fans of Beck, Evidence, Buck 65, Daptone Records. If you're with it, spread love. People want the wild shit, we're gonna give you some more. Andrew, The Rain Knows What It's Doing, available now.
Has this ever happened to you? You go to drink a hot drink, but it's too hot and it burns your mouth.
God damn it.
So you cool it down with an ice cube, but the ice cube is haunted. Now you hear the voice of the governess echoing through your head, even though she's been dead for hundreds of years. Now you're at work. Your boss is talking to you, but all you can hear is, I know who killed me. I know who killed me. You've got to help the governess. But you won't be able to. Not while your boss is talking. Not while he's alive. Now you're on the run. It'll be nightfall soon, and you only have an hour left of kerosene in your flashlight. Why did you buy a flashlight that runs on kerosene? You hear the sirens in the distance. It won't be long now. Luckily, there's a solution. Call Me When You're Outside, the new album by Steel Tip Dove, is available now on Backwoods Studios Records. Limited run of vinyl and CD is available on backwoodsstudios.com. Digital album available on all digital streaming sites.
Shabla.
We are back.
Word.
And we're going to dig into more topics as to let people know why nobody's fucking with you.
You ever look to your left and your right and notice no one is there and you've been talking to yourself this whole time? Listen to this episode.
Nobody fucks with you. So another one that I've been thinking of is like, your reputation is fucked.
Yeah.
So like,
buddy.
you know, you have a really shitty reputation.
Yeah.
Or you have like a horrible online persona. Or like, you're just like one of those dudes that's like, yo, I was killing it in 2000. And like still living off of that shit. Like trying to find like sycophants to like be like, yo, you were the man in 2000.
Oh, yeah.
When you had that like 12-inch on brick or whatever the fuck it was, you know? So,
land speed.
Yeah. Yeah. You had that hot 12-inch at land speed that was only sold in Newberry Comics.
Newberry.
So have you guys encountered people that are like this? That like,
Nope.
you know,
Never.
no, never. Like you haven't like where you're like, I was gonna work with you.
Yes.
And then like the more, I mean, I guess this kind of goes back to the more like what Illogic was saying, like when you just start seeing more of a person, you're like,
All right, so I'll do like a two-pronged effect. So one of me and Castro's homies, like once a year, he would like slowly start losing his mind on Twitter. You could see it like a degradation, where it started getting like really weird, like in a very like odd way, right? And he would do that and then kind of like take a break and then come back and be like, yo, I was fucked up, yo, like don't mind me. And now as the years gone by, he's like on his shit, like super busy, prolific, doing like pretty good gigs and well-known situations, right? But I remember early on back then being like, oh, this is bad. Like, why? Like I gotta mute my man. Like, this is my guy. Like, I'll go to his house, but like, oof, Twitter is not the place for you to be like literally like losing your mind and me watching it. You know what I mean? Like, that's sad. So that's one thing. But he rebounded and now he crushes it. But the flip side is like watching people that because all of us were active. You know what I mean? Like that whole dream scenario of 2000, 12 inches and you sold 10,000 copies. Like none of us sit there and be like, oh, I was chilling. Like I was great. Like all of us are active rappers and producers. So we're all like watching and paying attention. Or if someone puts us on to somebody or like ooh, like I want to work with this person. They seem real nice. I can fuck with that. Okay, yeah. And the saddest part is like you start keeping your eye out for people because we're just evaluating, and then they just start playing themselves. Like posting about a ton of shit that has nothing to fucking do with music. It has nothing to do with anything else. To where you're just like, yo, G, you're a tough follow. Like, god damn. So if it's hard to follow you, what's it gonna be like if we start emailing or texting or FaceTiming to work on some songs, or I come to your town and like it's like every day's the job interview. You know what I mean? Like people think they have the job in hand and they start getting all fucking chill and they show you who they are. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
People start getting cute and you're just like, ooh, like you just cost yourself the gig, bro. Just watching how people get down on, and I'm sure, trust me, I'm not above that shit. I'm sure 1,000 people got me muted, blocked. You know what I mean? Like I know I'm on the receiving end from this show. I'm fine with that. Like that's totally cool with me. I get it. I can be a bit much, but I feel like we all do that with each other in a way, and it's like to thin the herd. Like, who do I really, really, truly want to work with? You know what I mean? Versus like, oh, that's like a passing comet in the sky. Like, wow, look at this guy, look at her. To be like, oh, who should I give? Because we're all older. It's like our time is more valuable. Like, who am I going to give my time with to start investing and working, do real shit? So that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, when you look at people's reputation especially in underground, quote unquote, hip hop, it's a small community of people. You know what I mean? So if, like a lot of the things that we've talked about already kind of can be balled up into reputation. If you're always late, you know what I'm saying? If you show up to the studio and you're not there to work, if you're just a fucking horrible person, in real life, like that kind of shit goes around. There's people that, because if I want to work with somebody, especially like, say a videographer or something, I might hit up, somebody that I know have worked with them. Like, yo, how was the experience working with this dude? And they're like, oh, you don't want to fuck with that dude. You know what I mean? And there's been many a times where there's cats that I haven't worked with off of the strength of the reputation that they have, at least with the people that I trust and the people that I know. And, in this music thing, it's a lot of us, but it's not a lot of us that are really like doing this and that are really active. And, if you fuck somebody over, that shit passes through the crew like wildfire.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I think there are also the people that like, because everything's so like projected outward now with all different social media channels and opportunities to kind of like brand yourself. There are those people that are always starting something new.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like always starting like, I'm going to do these YouTube lives. I'm going to do like this sort of like, what was it? Instagram live where like I'm going to DJ like every Tuesday night.
Yep.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to do like a beat a week or, some like a beat tape every month. And you get like 2 months in and it stops.
Mm-hmm.
3 weeks in. 3 weeks.
Yeah. But you see that like, even if you were thinking about working with that person, there's a lot of talented people that are out there that are like that. You're like, I really enjoy the music that these people make, but they can't fucking stay on task for more than like 2 weeks to a month before they're off doing something new, like chasing, like they're like a cat chasing a laser pointer around their living room. You know what I mean? It's like they can't stay focused on one thing. Like, I mean, you've got how many albums out now, Illogic?
A lot.
Exactly. And you got a family, you got a full-time job, you got a master's degree now,
right? You
got a podcast that you do every single week.
Yep.
You got tons of shit going on. You're still productive.
Super.
So if somebody was like, should I work with Illogic? Be like, yeah, because your shit's going to get done.
Of course.
Right.
But a lot of times it's just like these rudderless motherfuckers, man. And maybe it's because in some cases they don't have anything else that's taking their time. So they have nothing but time.
Yeah.
And they don't know how to manage. Like, having an abundance of time is like
no good.
Sometimes more dangerous than having no time.
Yeah, it is for a lot of people.
It is for me. Like I know, like when work gets quiet and I have nothing to do,
I don't do shit at work.
I'm just like,
when days like that.
I don't know. Like I just procrastinate. I'll be like, I don't know what to do. Like I need to be like busy 24/7 in order to like focus.
Yeah, that's the problem I'm running into now, because I took a break from everything, really, like making beats, making, writing songs, streaming, all of that stuff. Like I took a break in December, and I had already planned on taking off January, and it's really hard for me to get back into the groove of doing shit on a regular basis, because you guys follow me. So last year I was posting, like 4 times a day, multiple times a week, doing sales, doing streams, doing all this shit. And I just got burnt out, man. Yep. And at this point now, I'm trying to get myself back in the mode of, getting back on my shit. But, hopefully, and I don't think it will, because, I've given people a lot, but I'm really cognizant of my reputation and making sure that people know, like, I'm just taking a break. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I haven't disappeared. I just need a break sometimes,
Yeah. I mean, breaks are earned. They're not something that people should be taking when they haven't done shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. You got to earn your break.
What do you got, Castro?
In terms of,
if like what's it called? Alaska, what did you say?
Reputation.
I'm saying reputation, but it could also be like persona too, like reputation or a certain persona type.
Like I said earlier, I sometimes have bad sonar when it comes to this, and I miss it, and I'll end up working with people I shouldn't waste time with or whatever. And my dilemma, I think, is when people tell me that I'm wasting my time working with such, because I mean, it's always hard somebody has an opinion about somebody and they express it to you, and it has you involved. So it's not the easiest thing just to pull off and be like, all right, yeah, such told me something about you and I'm good. So I've made those type of mistakes. But just like with anything else, when somebody shows you who they are, listen and pay attention.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they show you that early in the game, and especially if it's a game of like mystery where they're trying to keep something low. They'll show you early on. They'll slip up real easy, real early. Because that's the first thing you go back to when you think about when you rethink the whole situation. You're like, he did such and such and do this. Like, and I thought, and you think back to you, and I thought a little something about it, but I ain't paying no mind. And that was the tip of the iceberg. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And again, what's call out culture. We're not just here just trying to shine on negative MCs or like we just trying to give you certain tools to. You can identify these things, because if you notice, the theme of this episode also has been time wasted and time earned. And it's important to have your time earned and to use your time wisely. And we're just trying to give you some tools on how to avoid time killers, time eaters. Yes. Big fat Gordo cats that just want to swallow up your time and they want to sit back and light blunts. You know what I'm saying? Stolen or otherwise. That's one of the worst people to waste your time, because you're telling you blink, 5 years done gone by. How many projects you don't put out? Like, dang, homeboys fulfilled. Homeboy, whoever you rolling with, they fulfilled because they don't give a damn.
Right.
Which has become evident. And you're sitting there that time wasted feeling is that's vapid. That's very, very hard to get over. And you realize that you literally wasted some time.
Damn.
And so use your time wisely, folks.
It really is the most valuable commodity as you get older. I mean, it is when you're younger too. You just don't realize it because you feel like you have all the time in the world. What about people that like sort of, and I'm trying to like word this delicately because I don't want to like stigmatize people, but there's like very real mental health crises going on, or like people dealing with depression. But what about those people that live that shit online?
Oh man.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's not like to bring attention to an issue. It's just like, I'm gonna make you guys be my therapy session.
It's like a new version of A Boy Cry Wolf, yo.
Yeah.
The boy who cries wolf, because eventually you're gonna see that this person just throwing up a flag.
Yeah.
For no true genuine reason. You know what I'm saying? And once all of this, digital support Oh, you could fuck up. You'll do better. Oh, don't worry about it next time. Da, 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 da. And it's really like you're misusing it because some of those people are being like, they genuinely want to give you good energy or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you're just using it for a Friday afternoon or something. You know what I mean? Like, woe is me cats. Oh, I can't stand a woe is me cat, yo. Oh my goodness, the bane of my existence. Woe is me. Oh, you know how cats make that sound? Oh, yeah, that's you. Yo, woe is me cat. Yo, you need to go sit down somewhere, man. Nah, man. Let me calm
I mean,
down,
that for me, that would be a red flag, right? That would be somebody that like I can't be around, or like I can't take the risk of investing time in doing a project with them because they're telling me that they're not well.
Right.
24/7. Like, I mean, that's the way I see it. Like, once there's people that just like that's their identity.
Yeah, and it's
online.
disappointing.
And it is, yeah.
And it's I don't know. Sometimes, you know, at first with a lot of people like that, at first it's like, okay, maybe this cat is going through some shit. You know what I mean? Because some people do use their Twitter or whatever to get out some shit. And that's cool every once in a while. But if that's all you do, then, you know, at some point I gotta unfollow you or mute you or, you know, like I can't because, you know, as we talked about on Super Duty, you know, curating my timeline is the only way that I can survive and be sane using social media. You know, and if you're not edifying my scrolling, you know what I'm saying, my time that I'm using scrolling, because usually, you know, when I do take some time to scroll, I'm doing it for some inspiration. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing it, you know, not to hear what the latest bullshit is going on with a celebrity, but, you know, to hear dope beats, to see dope videos, to see dope art, to, you know, get inspiration, you know, in some way. And if every time I scroll to your name, there's some drama, you know, there's something bad happened to you. There's, you know, it's always something with certain people. I can't fucking have that because that drains me and that brings me down. I can't have that.
Yeah.
That was a great episode.
You notice the algorithm is quick to fuck up your timeline if you accidentally click on one thing.
Oh yeah.
It's like it's suddenly like, this is what you want. I'm gonna feed you this shit because this is the shit that's gonna keep you coming back.
I'm not with that. I think like the when it comes to like the watching people online on that shit, it's just again, man, it's like, yo, when I look at that, you could fall for that once if a person, you know, is just kind of a fuck up. Like you fall for the trick once of like, oh man, sorry to happen to you, man. Like, you know, I'll cash app you for that because man, you're going through something hard, or like, wow, man, I know what that's like to, you know, go through being short on your rent. Well, oh man, like the first time you're like, man, I genuinely feel for this person, like Castro said, like I do want to be supportive, right? But then it's like, yo, bro, this now it's Tuesday. Like that was Friday. Now it's Tuesday. Now it's a new calamity. Now it's Sunday, another calamity. Now it's Thursday, another calamity. And I'm like, God damn, like we're adults. Like, can't you fix, like, why is this so difficult for you to get a handle on whatever it is? If you need to get money, you need to not be on social media and go hustle and get bread. There's ways to do DoorDash, bro. You know, people I know that are like having a job, they clock out of their job and just turn on DoorDash and go make an extra $30 on the way home from work, just picking up food and delivering it to sandwiches to people. Quick bread. There's so many ways to make money now. It's fucking crazy to me, right? And so when I see that type of shit, it's like, again, like I'm a person who worked in human services. You know, there's a lot of resources out there for people that are adults that are not in residential group home facilities that are independent of their own life and can make decisions and be like, wow, like I'm not doing well. Like you could do like telehealth therapy sessions that are not very expensive. There's so many resources out here for everybody to get. And if you like you said, Alaska, like if your choice is, nah, man, Twitter is that's my therapy session today. I'm like, then you don't really want to fix anything. You just want to wallow, and then your algorithm is populated with other wallowers that are all have a fucking black cloud over their head, and they're all like, yeah, man, see, it's the fucking government's fault. Yeah, it's the fucking president's fault. It's the music business's fault. It's Spotify's fault. It's Joe Rogan's fault. Whoever the fucking fault is, you all like say that shit to each other, and then you fall in like the wackest algorithm possible, where it's just all like victim, like broken that lane. Which holy shit, like that's a bad place to be. And so like when Illogic, when you said on your guys, yes, when you guys said, Illogic, I just said this at a talk the other day. I was like, yo, if your social media experience sucks, it's because you suck.
Yeah, that was the best.
That's real. That's super real. And I said it to a bunch of like other adults where they were like, wow, like you give me hope to not feel bad, like to be on fucking TikTok and Instagram. I'm like, yo, my shit is fun when I go on there. Like I have a ball.
Yeah.
Like it's a playground for me. It's like an adult. I'm like, oh, there's like 90s X-Men. I like that. There's basketball rumors. I like that. There's fucking Marvel updates. I like that. Like, oh, here's production tips. Oh, this is fun. Like it's a nice playground to be in.
You don't even
versus...
have to block people to get away from you. Just mute them.
Exactly.
I don't even know.
I just mute them. No, some people I have to like I can't take how much they write. That's another thing. So I'll mute them, and I'll double mute it or something. Like I do something, mute them, and then take away like their favorite words, like conflagrate or something like that.
Yeah,
I mute that too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's your favorite word?
It's like Donald Trump doesn't even exist in my time.
Oh no, my shit has been shutting his.
Once you like take Donald Trump, Kanye out.
Donald Trump, Kanye, Knicks, Celtics, all that
it's
shit.
So funny how much
out of here
that used to dominate. It's not funny because it's still the remnants of these idiots, but I'm just thinking, remember every day you would wake up and be something brand new. This fool every day, yo. Yeah. Every day. I was like, whoa. Like, whoa.
Going back to the depressed people shit. They kind of like weaponized that shit too, right? Because you can't actually call somebody out.
Castro, please talk
without
about
being
this.
like,
please, dear God.
Without being like, or like, like the people that'll like retweet somebody who's like, I'm like a trans poet with 2 cats and my roommate is abusive and the lease is in my name, but they won't leave. Now I have to move out of my house. And you need to cash at me so I could pay my mortgage or my rent. And it's like, wait, why do I have to do that?
Yeah, like,
and then if you say anything about that, you're like the worst person ever because that person, I'm like, don't you see the grift?
Yes.
Right.
Like it's a fucking grift, man. Like this shit is happening all the time. Like if you don't see that grift,
if you know how to word it right, then go fund
you hit the key words, and it's like
clockwork.
Yeah.
Somebody's bike got hit by a truck. There you go. Start right there. Start with some sad looking kid, broken bike, and a truck, big ass truck, a mean truck with fire coming out his eye.
Right.
Make people hate that truck, man. Oh, I hate that truck, man. It's some money.
Here's $10. There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Now the weaponization shit is the saddest part because when you actually look at posts like that, you'll see people checking them. There'll be people be like, "Yo, you're a fucking bum. Like, figure it out, bro. You're 39. Like, what are we doing here?" People are like,
"You're inviting that too."
But then the other people will be like, "Oh no, you're just an aggro cisgendered." Non-conformative, aggressive, like whatever.
There's way more bleeding hearts.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But the wildest shit is they don't even know this person that's asking for money.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
right.
Nobody knows.
It's like some fat white dude that hates Jews in his house. It's like, how can I take these liberals' money?
Type like this. Type like this. My dog. They killed a dog too. Oh man, don't kill a dog.
Yep.
Z got caught up with a dog scheme about some dog surgery.
I got schemed. The dog scheme. They got me once. Never again.
Never seen it. Never seen a dog ever again. Dog didn't pop up any pictures. Not on Instagram. Not on TikTok. I don't know where the dog is. I know where that money went.
Yes, out of my account into this person's shit, and then never again. I was like, man, you got me with the dog scheme.
Well, that's better than paying $40 on a busy block buying a VCR. It actually turns out to be a box of bricks. Anyway,
like gridlocked.
or the old speaker scam.
Oh, the speakers.
Remember that shit where dude would pull up in a van like,
dude,
they ordered the one too many pairs, man. You want to buy it for cheap?
Yo, there was like a stretch. Man. There was a stretch once that was like it happened like 3 times in a month where like dudes with vans with the sliding door like roll up. I just be crossing the street like, yo, my man, I got these speakers. A DJ, you want these joints? $100 for a pair. I was like, nah, man, something's wrong. Nah, get away from me.
Yo, you start
I'm
opening
not going
the door
anywhere near a
you
van that pulls up and opens a sliding door.
Yeah, I was like, why you
slide door slide on you? You want these? Yo, what am I gonna do? I'm rolling them home by myself.
Yeah, like I'm on foot. Like I'm carrying these.
Even like 10% true. Am I rolling these things? Am I carrying them on my back home? Oh man, look what I came up on. Okay.
Dude, fuck that.
Yo, that's crazy.
All right, so do you want to take a quick break and then run into the last topic?
Yeah, let's
hit another break, then we hit the home stretch, yo.
It's that time again, we're back. Career Crooks, me and Small Professor. New album, Never at Peace, available now worldwide, streaming on all platforms. Very, very, very limited pieces of merch left. You can scoop it at wreckingcrew.bandcamp.com. If you've heard the Live from the Liner Notes episode, you know what it is, you know what we're about. If you haven't, go back and peep it. Play the new record featuring Shrapnel, I Alive, and Donovan Days, Blueprint, DJ Manipulator, and that's all she wrote. New banger, me and Small Pro, Never at Peace, Career Crooks, available now.
What up, y'all? It's Panels, man. East Hampton Polar Boys. When the catalog out now, man. We got CDs, merch, all that. Insubordinaterecords.com, man. Make sure you don't sleep on it, because before you know it, it's going to be all gone. So make sure you head over there, stream it, do all that. Long live Lord Jones, man. Win the catalog, album of the year. You know what it is. Peace.
Hey yo, she caught me fly woo garments from overseas, Bolognese with extra palm, drown rotini, fresh panini, ground grilled, chopped garlic and olives, get demolished, fly air of goddess, never modest, purpose sonics fill my palace, wires missing, acoustics hitting, needle bless the vinyl, been the champion, just give me the title.
What is up, internet humans? This is Wally Clark. When I am not swimming the Panama Canal in Thames or teaching infants how to steal, I am listening to the Call Out Culture podcast with Zilla, Curly Castro, and Alaska. Make sure you check out my new record, Goon, fully produced by Flu and available on vinyl through Tough Kong Records. And remember, you are nothing and I am everything.
All right, we are back. Final segment. We are going to talk about some bad behaviors and bad habits that people have that like are serious red flags and a reason that people don't fuck with you. So I'm thinking things like, sorry, my dog was like throwing up in the background. Talking things like people that have like just never grown as an artist. Like they had like that one moment where they were dope and they've never put in any work to get better. Like all these problems happen around them, but it's never their fault. No matter where they go, there's problems, issues, and shit can't get done, but never their fault.
Nope.
They're just all talk. They're all just like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do this. Nothing ever happens. They're always hating on other people who are actually doing shit, talking about how they could do it better, or like they did it 2 years ago, but it never came out. Nobody ever saw the light of day. And then one that really bothers me, and I've had this happen like a few different times. And it's usually like from producers, no offense to the producers out here.
Right.
But the motherfuckers that just stare at you when they play the music for you, like they give you that hard stare and just like look at you.
No reaction. They ain't telling you.
It's crazy, right? You like this shit?
Yeah. It's just like,
you hear that snare?
You get all self-conscious because you're not like nodding your head hard enough.
Yeah.
Like those people. Those people
exactly what you're talking about.
I'll never fuck with people that do that shit.
That's clear.
They're trying to prove some stupid point, yo.
Yeah.
And, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. There was a dude that used to be in Adam's Family that used to do that shit all the time. Illogic, you met him when we came out there, and he got himself locked in the McDonald's bathroom.
Okay, yeah.
Remember they closed down the McDonald's while he was still in there.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That was an interesting guy. He was an interesting fellow.
Yeah, he really was an interesting fellow. He was an odd one.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but what are some of the bad behaviors that you've seen people exhibit that you're just like, I don't know why anybody would fuck with you?
just being a dick.
Yeah, that's really it, right?
That's a big one.
Like,
Number one.
just when people are just assholes to other people, but they want to act like them being assholes doesn't affect you, because we're supposed to be cool, but I'm gonna be a dick to everybody else. Right. And I'm gonna be cool with you, but I'm gonna be and if I see that, it's like I'm next, dude. Like at some point, I can only imagine the shit that you say about me behind my back to other people, just because I know what kind of person that you are. People that backbite are some of the worst people to ever have in your circle, man.
Talk that shit.
That's serious.
Talk that shit. Castro, what you got, bro? Get him.
Ugly. I mean, we've actually said a whole bunch of them throughout the whole episode, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
kind of dug into it.
We kind of. I mean, there's the disillusionist, like the movie Illusionist. The disillusionist, either like just overestimating their abilities, their people's abilities, and because not like saying like, oh, you can't do this show or whatever like that, but just like the way they might think that you can go to a situation and convince somebody bigwig there to take a listen, and we got it together like that, and it becomes very embarrassing. Instead, you're sliding a blank CDR to Nas, you don't know what you're doing. But just people that are disillusioned, I think sometimes you have to take a realistic look at what you have going on, and make an approach from that. Like just wishing things to happen doesn't make it happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just thinking real hard that like the hip hop scrolls is balanced to your name, and it's your next up. Your next up. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, what does that even mean? I know a cat like that. You know what I'm saying? And he just thought, the hip hop gods were gonna favor him. But if you looked at his work, he wasn't doing more than the next person at all.
No.
So,
dog,
why you deserve that spot?
No, it's like being caught on that Summer Jam screen, right? When your name or your posts or your pictures or your whatever starts popping up independently amongst indie rap circle group texts, DMs, like you're in a bad spot, bro. Like, when it is just an organic thing and be like, yo, you know this motherfucker? Look at this fucker. You seen this guy, the person? They're posting this, or like, damn, they just said this. Wow, I didn't like. It's not even like people. People like. There's clear cut history all of us have with each other separately, our own squads and cliques. But when someone out like if one of us just texted Illogic or texted Castro like about hip hop person B, like, yo, you fuck with this fucking person? Because like when that just happens out of blue, you're like, whoa, this is bad. This is bad news. Don't be on that Summer Jam screen, man. Like, don't end up there. And it's like it's from a variety of reasons, like all the things we talked on. But it's like, however those things add up, whether you're non-punctual, like we said, punctual, you're not following through, you're just whining on the internet all fucking day, like whatever that is, the culmination is other people catching it and then sharing it amongst each other, being like, yo, this looks bad. You know what I mean? Not even like you were saying, Logic, like, oh, should I hire this person? Kind of like on some Angie's List shit. Like, would you get them a 3-star or 5-star? It's like, yo, this motherfucker, they had a couple hot joints I was checking, man. They sent me a beat pack, but whoa, this is something else, man. Like, don't end up on those texts.
People's names ring out, man. What I'm saying? You either on a short list or a long list of mistakes. Because if you're on that long list, they looking at you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, yo, you'll say they person name, somebody 2 people over. I wouldn't fuck with him if I was you. What? You hear that phrase? I wouldn't fuck with him if I was you.
Yep.
Letting you know, that's the one. That's the first warning. That's the first flag.
Yep.
But definitely I agree with you, Z, when your name precedes you in a certain manner.
Now, Castro, you know this. I was the person on the bad kid list in Philly, right? Where a group of people all made up their mind that I was like this fucking whatever dude, right? And when I was younger, I was definitely like any rapper in your 20s, definitely insecure, salty, smug, thirsty, all that shit, right? So but the grouping of people that liked me then just didn't, right? And they would like talk shit about me and like fucking years, Facebook shitting on me, and I didn't acknowledge any of these people, right? Because they would never say it to my face. No one ever said any of this to my face. You know what I mean? Like everyone had my phone number. No one would call me. So I was like, well, this is some dumb shit. And so in the last year or two, like two of those people 12 years later reached out to me like, yo, I was wrong. Like the people I was getting intel from, they were the fucked up ones. And like I stepped back and was like, me and you were always mad cool. Like, why was I not thinking for myself? I was going along with the okie doke. And I was like, oh shit, okay. Like I appreciate you being honest. But like Castro said from the outside looking in, he was like, those people thought that the word on the street was viable, but it was coming from like the damaged, fucked up, broken people. Now on a long enough timeline, they never did nothing. You know what I mean? Like they never accomplished shit. And here I am all these years later doing all the things we do. And it's like a couple, people reach out to me. I think it's really cool and brave to be like, hey man, all my dickhead ass friends, like you were in the group text, you know what I mean? Now, but like I realized they were the losers. You know what I mean? Like, can we just be cool? I'm like, oh yeah, without a doubt. And it's like, so I know what that's like to be blacklisted. But yeah, there you go. I deserve some of it 100%. I'm not a, fucking Jesus out here.
I want to comment on something you said about being like a dickhead rapper in your 20s. Yeah. Like a lot of the shit we're talking about, while it's not acceptable from somebody in their 20s, it's understandable, I think.
Sure.
Because we all had our moments like when we were young where we did a lot of these behaviors. But, when you start getting into your 30s and 40s and you're still exhibiting these behaviors,
right?
That's really who we're talking to, I think, right now.
Correct. Yes.
With this, right? Like, I'm not expecting an 18-year-old to have these learned life skills to the point where it's like, oh, I know I have to respect people's time. I'm 18 now.
Like I don't look at Travis Scott to be like Travis Scott is how I want to live my life. You know what I mean? Like no, he's like 26. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I think that the whole conversation is more just about people who want to do this as a career. Like if you actually want this to be a career. Now, if you are 18 and you're trying to take this seriously, then there's going to be a lot of things that is expected of you because a lot of the people that you're going to be working with are not 18. You know what I mean? Ooh. They'll understand certain things, but at the same time, if I hire you to do something and I expect it done at a certain time and your excuse is that I'm 18, that's not going to fly.
No.
You know what I mean? So if you want to get involved in this shit and be and be a professional musician, be a professional artist, and actually try to make some remnants of a life out of this as a career, then a lot of these things are necessary. But a lot of us when we were younger, we just wanted to rap. You know what I'm saying? We just wanted to, have fun, and we didn't care about being assholes. We didn't care about being dicks. We didn't care about time. We didn't care because we thought we had all the time in the world, but once we started taking this shit seriously and getting record deals and going on tours and doing all that stuff where we had schedules, where we had to, be places for sound check at a certain time. We had to do this and that at a certain time. Like, there's some responsibility that comes with that. So if you want to do this shit for real, then you take a lot of this shit, and run with it. But if you don't, take it with a grain of salt. Just do you and, make beats in your bedroom for the rest of your life.
I mean, one of the best life lessons I ever got was when I was like, it was like kind of like a couple of years before, like I quit my job to do music full time. But I was like kind of like salty at work and just like, using like hours to like photocopy flyers for shows I was putting on, shit like that. And my boss came up to me and he was like, I want to talk to you. And I was like, all right. He's like, you don't seem like you really want to be here. I was like, well, I'm trying to do this music thing, blah, blah, blah. He was like, that's all cool. He's like, and you don't have to be here. Like, I understand that. Like, but you had no problem taking my money to pay you to do this job. So you could either decide to keep taking the money and do the work that you're supposed to do, or stop taking the money and not come in. Damn. And I was like, oh, I never thought of it that way. I was always so salty. Like, why do I have to be here? Mm-hmm. I don't understand why I have to be here. It's like, well, because I took the money. That's why I have to be there. Like I made an agreement. And I think like when you're doing music, you're making a voluntary agreement. Mm-hmm. And when you take the time, like nobody's fucking holding you at knife point being like, rap.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know, it's like you've made the choice to be here. So don't get salty about shit.
Right.
Just do it or don't.
Or even like what Illogic talked about, like
Yeah.
just chilling the fuck out. That's cool
Yeah.
too. You know what I mean? Like that's what I really love about you guys' show is always about like, yay, it's great to be prolific, be on your shit, have a routine, be consistent, longevity. But to sustain that, you need to recharge and refuel.
Certainly, yeah.
Take a break, you know. And like you said, the only real dangers is how do I rev it back up after I got used to a routine of not always plugged in.
Yeah.
But damn well, everyone knows the work ethic and the history. If you stop doing that, you would do something else and start that. Like it would be a real thing. It wouldn't be like, yo, check it out, Logic. I'm gonna be on IG Live, like going through records every single Monday at 7. You wouldn't do it for no 2 weeks. It would be a thing. It would be like a real thing to look forward to because that's what you guys have always established for Super Duty and the solo artists and Weightless, which all of us, you know, as fans and peers, like always look up to because it's there. But if you always skirt it, we take inventory of that. Like Illogic, he's fucking bullshit. He'll do it for a couple weeks. He ain't gonna follow through. Like people know that. Like he's not gonna really do that. He's not gonna stick to it. You know? A beat a day, really? Let's see where you are in like 14 days. Let's see. Word. Whereas if you said you were gonna do it, I'd be like, oh, at the end of the year, this guy's gonna have fucking 365 beats somewhere. You know?
Yeah. I mean, you know, this list could go on and on. I think forever. You know, a couple that I wanted to hit on were like perfectionists, like people that just can't let shit go, and people that can't pivot. Like, so when it doesn't go exactly the way you want it to go, it has to stop. Instead of being like, all right, well, you know, we didn't get that guest appearance, but we still got like 10 fire tracks. Let's put them shits out.
Yeah. Fuck it.
You know, or like, you know, it wasn't picked up by whatever label or I don't know, whatever the fuck they have now. They don't really have labels, but you know what I'm saying? Like
Spotify playlist. Like what a playlist didn't get me.
Another one where it's like when you go on the road with people and there are people that treat like the sound people, the staff at the venues, they treat them like shit and like they're below them.
Like people,
Those people got to go and they got to go fast.
On tour, you really learn who people are, man.
Oh, so fast.
You learn who people are really fast, and sometimes it's so disappointing. You know,
so disappointing.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, you got any more? I think there will be a couple more on the list real quick to wrap. Wait, did we have one about like talking shit?
Yeah, we said that basically you're basically hating on people that
got you
do shit. And you know, when you don't do shit, you're just hating on everybody else.
Yo, maybe we can wrap it up on that real quick, right? If you, again, we were in our 20s, that was probably like everybody's like pastime. Why the fuck did they get to open that show and I didn't? How the fuck did they sell, you know, 70 mixtapes last night? I got to sell 10. Like you're always like in a competition, right? But as you mature and get, you know, get fortified, you just like settle, be like, oh, that's dope that it happened for them, right? Yeah. And like Illogic said, like indie music, especially indie rap, even spread out all over the country and the world, we're still like a relatively small community. So if you're not like joyful or celebrating anyone else's successes at this stage, you're a fucking loser, like straight up and down. Like if I was like sitting there and be like, fucking Billy Woods, how's this motherfucker selling out that vinyl? He can't run better than me. You know what I mean? Like it's dope if Billy Woods sells out a vinyl. You know what I mean? Because that means there's a lot of people that still want to hear indie rap. That you know what I mean? Like left of center music can still thrive and do well. How do we get to that place where maybe his fans can pay attention to my record or whatever it is, right? But if it's like the people that are crushing it, I want to like celebrate and learn from them. Being like, how did they do that rollout? You know what I mean? Like, what was the packaging? Or did they get, I like the beat produced by this person. Maybe on their album, I can get them on my shit. You know what I mean? Versus, no, you know, he's a fucking weirdo anyway. All his fans are fucking weirdos. Like that's at this stage to always go at people that are on the next level up. It's just like, how could you ever be on the next level up? Like it can't happen. You see what I'm saying?
It's a waste
like,
of time.
It really is. It really is.
Yeah.
Some dumb hater shit.
Bird.
All right. Any final thoughts, or are we good?
I think we knocked it out of the park with that shit. We got a lot.
Yeah.
This is why people don't fuck with you.
Yeah.
Start it from the beginning again if you missed it the first time.
Yeah. And if something in there like really hits home with you, don't get mad at us. Look at yourself.
Right.
That's
We're
really
doing you a favor. There's a reason we didn't mention names.
Mm-hmm.
The theme of Super Duty Tough Work and in some parts of our show is like, hey, don't be mad at me, man. Don't be mad at me.
These the facts.
We're just gonna say and do what we want either way, and we're gonna back it up. Like it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
We want to thank Illogic for making this appearance.
Very much so.
Yeah, thank y'all for having me. I appreciate it, man.
Oh, yeah.
Long time
Listeners.
listener. You know,
Long time listener, first
Yo,
time.
this is
second
Vinny
time,
from
third
Staten
time
Island.
caller.
First time, long time. What do you think about the Jets? I'm gonna hang up and let you tell me. All right, see you later. Like that. What do you think about the Jets linebackers, Alaska? All right, I'm gonna hang up and listen. What you say? Yo, the Bengals, man. Bengals in the fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah, man.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
that's exciting. I got a lot of family in Cincy, so
Nice.
they
Yeah, you guys
are
must be
super
excited about
excited.
that.
Icky Shuffle, yo. I remember the Icky Shuffle. I was 11.
Yeah.
That thing was fire. You just run it in.
Yep.
You just,
You
Again,
know,
yeah,
I'm
very
really
good.
rooting for them to win because the Jets beat them this year. So we could be like,
That means
Beat the
I
champ.
know we were
beat the
4
Super
we were
Bowl
4 and 13,
Mm.
but we beat them with our backup quarterback.
We can build on this. We can build on this for next year.
Yeah.
You know, even though we get the third
Oh,
pick
yeah.
in the draft, it's because we beat
A couple
the
things
Bengals.
went a little different. That's us in the Super Bowl.
That's us.
That's
couple of things.
Couple things like the last
Couple
40 years
things.
was a little different.
It'll be a little while for us. A Logic. You want to plug anything? Let people know where they can check your shit, new and old. What you're doing? What's up?
Oh yeah, just check me out at logic.bandcamp.com. Illogic. I am illogic.com is my website. My YouTube page, Illogic 614. I'm gonna be actually I got an interview with Alaska coming up
Yes.
in a couple weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
I'm gonna drop it in a couple weeks, so I'll start promoting that pretty soon.
Woo.
But
Dope.
yeah, my Beats and B-Sides show, it's gonna be really dope. I'm doing a lot of new things this year.
Nice.
And got a new project that I'm gonna be dropping in the spring that's already done, which I think is pretty fucking dope. So just a lot of shit happening. You know what I'm saying?
Woo.
A lot of shit happening this year. So, just follow me on all the socials, Illogic 614, and yeah, you'll see the updates.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, the Odd Nosdam record, dog. Woo.
Oh, thanks, man.
Woo.
Thanks. Yeah, that was fun. We're trying to work on a full length, but both our schedules are so freaking hectic that I haven't got to write. He hasn't sent me many more beats. So, but we eventually want to at least do another EP, if not a full length.
Yo, is it Nosdam or Nosdam? Am I saying it totally fucked up?
Nosdam.
Nosdam.
Yeah.
Thank you. Check myself.
It's his last name backwards, actually.
Oh, okay, nice. Nosdam.
Yeah, his last name is Madsen.
That's some De La shit. That's dope.
Yeah.
Nosdam. All right. Sorry, Odd, if you're listening. Sorry, I bungled that very, very poorly. Castro, you got anything to hit the party people with before we check out?
Oh man.
No.
We got Prem Rock's wonderful album from last year, Low Band Crow's Feet, is now in vinyl form. You can go cop the vinyl.
Nice.
You can go get the CD. CD got a bonus joint with him, Woods, and produced by Evidence. It's crazy. It's one of the best songs of the year.
Porto. Yeah.
So go get the CD, go get the vinyl, go get all that. Go get my man shit, yo.
Bang.
Hell yeah.
Alaska, you got anything?
We got the repress of the Super Duty Tough Work, not Super Duty Tough Work, the
Human Zoo.
Human Zoo record. I was looking at a Logic sweatshirt and admiring it. We have the repress of the Human Zoo CD. I just sent Zilla the first couple Cargo Cults 2 tracks. I got another couple I got to record this weekend, and then
fucking
start
back.
writing some more.
Yeah. Nice.
And then I'm in the last semester of my master's program, so
Look at
that'll
you.
be done soon.
Nice.
Nerd, you
nice.
fucking
Yeah.
nerd. You fucking nerd, man.
Big
Straight
nerd
up.
time. Big nerd
alert.
energy.
What was it, Chris Rock shit? Oh, you got your masters. How you think you're my master? Huh? I can count 1, 2, 4, 5. I'll wrap it up. We got the Andrew album that we just put out last week. The Rain Knows What It's Doing. We sold out of the VHS style cassettes, so they're gone. But we got the CDs, nice. Dad hats, beanies, and mugs. The mug is becoming like such a fucking wonderful older rap fan piece for people to buy. Yeah. Shouts to mug owners. So we got the mugs.
I really appreciate the refrigerator magnets.
That's a good one. Refrigerator magnet.
Magnets are good.
Magnets are good. You know, or like a nice comb. Yeah, the comb with the logo.
With the logo.
That you can put in your back pocket.
In your pocket.
Fucking bird from Stand By Me. Remember that? I dropped the comb. He drops it when the fucking train's coming. Shouts to Jerry O'Connell. So Andrew Records. So we moved it up to Bandcamp Day. Sales were incredible. Thank you everybody who support the record. So you can get on Bandcamp, $3pistol.com, and then me and Small Pro Career Crooks CDs, tapes and mini discs sold out, gone. Nice. So we have CDs available. We're thinking about reviving the mini disc industry one album at a time. A shout to everybody who copped the mini disc. It's rousing success from a 1998 format. But so we're out here doing that. So you can get all that shit. You can get that at recordcrew.bandcamp.com. And I think that's about it. Go Bengals. Shouts to fucking Carl Pickens. It's my man, Jeff Blake. I love those dudes. TJ Husmanzada. I respected him. John Carter. All those dudes. I hope they win. Yeah. So we are Call Out Culture. And this has been Why No One Fucks With You with our friend Illogic. So everybody be safe. Have a good time out there. Go Bengals. All right, guys. Peace.
All right, yeah.
Later.
Peace, yes.